Wagwan, beautiful people.
We have to move back a little bit.
Yeah, let's step back. Let's step
This
back in
thing
the
up here.
scope of
Step back a little bit.
Stepping back. Step back, step back, step back.
Okay.
We good? Are we solid? Are we solid as a rock? Are we rock as a solid? I said Jesus, man. Let me just turn.
Hello, guys. We're setting up our setup as usual. Oh. Okay. Oh, that's too much.
That's a lot of rooftop. It's a whole lot of rooftop.
It's showtime, says Gary.
It's a whole lot of rooftop.
Gary says it's showtime. Hey guys, David Hunt is here. Yo, Gwa, David Hunt. David, I love watching your little video. Well, they're not little, but your videos. Your voice is so commanding. As soon as I put your video, it's still too much up there.
Well, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is.
All right.
It is what it is. It was. Can we not hire the production crew from Oprah? What do you think of that? You think she'll loan us her production crew?
Okay.
Yes.
There we go.
Come on, Lo. Get into the frame.
There we
Sink
go.
into the frame of the portrait, Lo.
There we
Yeah,
go.
hey, how about that?
As Belia
Hey, you know
says,
what?
there you go.
The handle is actually adjustable.
All right, guys. As usual, we are here and we are live. So you have to turn your body a little bit, sir.
Yes, so you know.
Smile up yourself.
Smile up yourself.
Tell him to smile up himself.
It's like
I know you see.
you get into a taxi in Jamaica. Don't say smile up
Woo!
yourself.
Whew.
Here we are. Are you hot?
I'm very hot now. After all that manipulating.
You know what, guys? I was actually wondering if it's at all possible to borrow the production crew from Harpo. Own Oprah. So we can see what's going on. So
who do we got? Gary McIntosh, of course, in the house.
Well, hold on. Before we even go any further. Wagwan, beautiful people.
What's up, guys?
Welcome once again to another episode of Nino and Lo.
Live and in the flesh.
In the flesh.
Okay,
As we
you have
like
to move over a little bit.
I have to move over some more still.
All right. So as you can see, we're still doing this up and down thing. Although last week I did say,
you know what? We're trying to do what we do.
We're trying.
One of these days we will get it right.
David says, thank you for the affirmation. Listen, guys, I want all of you to pause before we start and click onto David Hunt.
Mm-hmm.
And please follow David Hunt. David does these short little video clips of life stories. And his voice is so booming and commanding.
Very commanding.
Love his
voice.
videos. You guys have to.
Very commanding.
You guys
voice.
have to please join David Hunt's videos and watch them. Okay. All right. Nobius Nightshade says he's ready like Freddy.
Ready to go like Freddy.
All right. So we.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're here, you know what the topic is, right? Unwritten rules and pet peeves.
There we go. Unwritten rules and
But before
pet
we
peeves.
jump into that, you know why you touch me computer?
I don't even understand why.
Why this man come touch me computer and make me screen with my notes disappear?
I did not touch your computer.
Don't touch my computer.
I just brush against your computer.
Not touch me computer.
Not touch your computer.
All right.
You see the fuss and the fight. You realize that kind of darkens out a little bit. I don't know if you got a timer on there or something.
Leave the computer.
The lady said we must left our computer.
He touched the computer and all my wonderful notes are gone.
So,
okay, do you have a place set to record your lives? Well, we have a place set right in front of our Infama window, Dave. And we've been doing our lives here.
Was that a place set or a plate setting?
He said, do you have a place set?
I'm just messing with you.
Oh. Do we have a place set to record our lives? Yes, we usually do it in the same place ever since we did our very first YouTube video, which was right in this spot.
Very spot. Well, David, you can always look to build us a little studio, you know. We can work.
I know there's some people that have their backdrop and everything already set up. Maybe one day we'll transition to it, but we kind of like the informality and the natural lighting right here in front of the Infama window. And we get to peek on the people passing by and chat them sometimes. But I digress, right? Mm-hmm. So let's see who's here. Let's do a little roll call. We have Jen Tosh in the building. Where's your phone so that you can see who's who?
I got my phone right.
We got Jen. Oh, actually, I can see it here.
Yeah.
We have Jen Tosh here. We have Nobius Nightshade here. We've got Bluebird. Matt is alive.
What's going on, Matt?
Is here.
Matt with all his jokes.
Matt says, "Have no fear." Matt is
alive.
Here.
Matt is here.
We've got Raw Born Courage. Wagwan.
A pure courage, you know that, huh?
Jen Tosh is healing you up.
We're loving that.
Bluebird says this is gonna be a great live. I feel it too.
It's gonna be a fantastic live.
Ooh, look at that. David Hunt is all ready to go with the pet peeve. He says, pet peeve number 1, people who don't wash their hands in public restrooms after going to a bathroom. Come on, people.
Let me ask you a question. How you know that? How you know the people that don't wash their hands?
Well, you're watching them.
Oh, you listen for the water running.
Nobius is saying hi to Rob Born Courage. Rob Born Courage is saying greetings to everyone. Did I miss anybody? Matt's here. Jen Tosh is here. David's here. Bluebird's here.
Sweetheart.
All right. I think I've gone through the roll call.
We got a whole bunch of people. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, guys. And hit that like button. You know, YouTube likes
and
to see
I
those
also
likes.
want
Thumbs
to
up.
acknowledge that Gary McIntosh joined our membership.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so
much. Thank you, Gary. Thanks for joining the membership.
And if you didn't know,
let you guys
our memberships are open.
And we're excited to have you here today. So before we dive in, I want to give a quick reminder about our membership drive, which is open. It's a great way to support the show and to get exclusive content, behind the scene, lots of fun, and lots more.
You did that very well.
Hey!
You did that very well. I tell you guys, sometimes we have to write down what we need to say. So if you see us looking away, we're just looking at our notes here, eh? So we'd like... Oh, stop. You see? You hear that? Tremaine is making fun of me because I say I say a lot.
But you are a Canadian, eh?
Thank you. So welcome back to our live, everybody. Glad to see you here this week. Now, Nino's already mentioned our memberships. And we want to say a huge thank you to the people that have already joined the Nino and Lo crew, the newest one being Gary. We thank you so much.
Thank you, Gary.
And we will be having some members only content coming for you all very soon.
That's right.
And the other thing that happened this week was it was my birthday.
Yes, it was.
It was my birthday.
And we had a great birthday celebration.
Yes, it was very low key. And I just had a few family members here and some friends. And we had a great time.
Lots of fun.
And they got me to take a shot, guys.
She did.
I actually took a shot.
She doesn't really drink,
coming
but
from a
she
non-drinker,
took a shot.
I took a shot.
She took a shot. And we kept on yelling, shot, 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 shot. Well, she took a shot.
Yeah.
But you know what, guys? I want to thank you all, guys. A huge thank you to our members for your amazing support. Yes. I want to let you guys know that you, every single one of you, are the real MVP. And we thank you from the bottom of our heart.
If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be here every week, right?
Aha. I'm afraid to touch this, lady.
No, don't touch my computer.
Touch the computer.
And I also want to remind you guys, because I got some questions this week in the chat asking me about specific things when it came to gardening. And just to let you know, I think we have now about 750 videos. They're not all gardening videos.
Lots of cooking videos.
Just want to remind you, we have a whole library of videos that we would love for you to check them out.
Go back and check out. You know, I heard somebody mentioning on another podcast this morning was about okra punch. And I said, we have an okra punch.
That's right.
Right?
We have a lot of videos there that, about 3 years worth of videos. Mm-hmm. So reacquaint yourself with them when you have a moment, and anything that you might have in a question, we might have a video already up there, right? So just reminding you to, if you haven't already subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit that notification bell so that you don't miss one of these fabulous lives. right?
That's right.
Okay. And are we ready to get into today's
We're
episode?
ready to get into today.
All
So
right.
I'm going to let you know that today's episode, we're going to have a good one. It's all about unwritten rules and pet peeves.
All right.
So get all your unwritten rules and your pet peeves together, all your questions, your queries, and let's get it on.
All right, hold on.
Let's get ready to rumble.
We've got Pinky AFM here saying,
What's going on,
beautiful
Pinky AFM? Big
people.
up yourself. Welcome to the channel.
Who
Welcome
else
to
we
the
have? Shafiq Kassar 4
Yes.
says,
yes,
Happy
Shafiq.
Sunday.
We're loving it.
Oh, wait a minute. This wasn't updating, so I'm missing all these. Hold on. Rob Born Courage said, greetings to everybody. Bluebird, I guess giving me some toast for my birthday.
And happy Eid out there.
Now,
Happy
Matt
Eid.
says, okay, Matt, this is your first joke. Matt says, my wife still thinks I'm sexy. Every time I walk past her, she says, what an ass. I don't know where you get them from, Matt, but they're funny. I like them.
I tell you.
Bluebird says, yes, wash your hands, people, after using the bathroom.
You definitely
But
have
we're
to
going
wash
to get
your
into
hands.
those pet
You
peeves
definitely
shortly.
have to wash your hands.
Welcome, Shafiq Kassar 4. I don't believe
What's
we've seen
going
you
on,
here
Shafiq?
before.
Welcome to the channel.
Welcome.
It's good having you.
Dave
Thank
Hunt
you for your
says,
support.
talking about on the highway like a rest stop. That's what he's talking about. People who don't wash their hands when they're on a highway and they're on a rest stop.
Well, you know what? Let me just remind you that it's not just about a rest stop. It's any time you use the bathroom.
Yes. Thank you, David. I had a wonderful birthday. Now, Matt Alive
she
says...
took a shot.
I
Remember
did,
that.
I
She
did
took
take
a
the
shot.
shot. Matt says, alcohol is never the answer, but it's worth a shot.
Oh, my God.
Let me tell you, it was
Where do you
like...
get these things?
It was like drinking rubbing alcohol. I don't know how y'all do it with the alcohol shots.
How many times have you drank rubbing alcohol?
Well, what I imagine
The
rubbing
feel
alcohol would taste
taste
like.
like. Okay.
Now, what was it?
That
was it rum? It was a dark rum,
yeah, it was
I think.
a dark rum. It was an El Dorado.
It's a
12-year-old El Dorado.
Oh, guys,
Good
it
rum.
was
Very good.
I couldn't see myself drinking that again. Ian is here. Ian say wagwan on this lovely Sunday. Happy belated birthday, Lo. And cheers. Thank you so much, Blue Eyes. We love Ian over here. All right. Rob Born Courage is bigging up David Hunt. And Pinky is here saying wagwan, beautiful
Wagwan.
people.
So we do it
So
on a
Gary
Sunday
says,
afternoon.
Nino, please speak on how we lit that charcoal fire for the barbecue because at Lowe's birthday, because that situation should have been its own live.
Let me tell you this. That was an episode in itself. Because I personally had no
Jamaican countrymen and they couldn't start
Well,
fire.
look at this. I most often use the gas barbecue. And you know, gas barbecue is about just pressing a button and away we go. But I decided that for Lowe's birthday, I'm going to make some jerk chicken, but I'm going to do it on a charcoal barbecue.
It was good, guys.
But I don't know how to light the damn thing without a fire starter. I had no fire starter, and we scrambled. Gary and I scrambled to get papers torn up, and we were looking for a
Thank
foam
goodness
plate
for
of some
Gary,
kind.
because if it wasn't for Gary, we would have had no fire.
It would have been a fail. I would have been out there rubbing two rocks together.
Now,
so thank you, Gary, for rescuing me
we have
and
to
making it happen.
big up Gary for getting the fire going. And that
lovely.
chicken was really good, guys.
The chicken was good.
Now, David says, oh Lord, not the okra punch. Why?
Oh yes, David. You're a hater of okra punch.
David has an aversion to all things okra. Nobia
okra punch is absolutely delicious.
Nobia says it was a memorable birthday. Yes, they kept giving me.
We had a great time.
They kept giving me not money pull-ups. Super chats.
Super chats. Yeah, we kept on getting super chat. So on that note, guys. On that note, don't feel afraid to send through a super chat anytime you feel.
That's right.
We welcome anytime.
Big topic today, says Bluebird, pet peeves.
Big topic. We got a whole lot of those over here.
Now, David says in unwritten rule number 1 that toilet paper must be rolled over and not under.
Wow. You know what? I agree with you 100%.
Some people, that's a big deal. It has to be rolled over.
I agree with you 100%.
And why is that?
Well, if I go in the bathroom and I have to roll under, it just irks me.
Maybe
it irks me.
It drags on the floor? I don't know.
It could be. I think it drags on the floor either way. It's just it's a matter of preference. It's a matter of preference. But if I do see the toilet paper running the opposite way, the underneath, I will remove it and reattach it, rolling over. Because to me, that's the only way.
All right.
Why are you fiddling with that?
Who do we have here? Hold on. Alexander Tador.
Welcome to the channel, Alexander Tador in the GTA. We
All
welcome
right.
that. We welcome you.
Okay, let's jump into the topic, everybody.
Right into the topic
Let me
at
just
hand.
get to my notes. So I did mention about our videos and the library, and because most of our subscribers are new subscribers, believe it or not, that watch our videos.
So my
we got a
question-
lot of old school subscribers
right.
that aren't watching our
And
videos.
my question here is that if you haven't yet subscribed,
what are you
waiting for? So you need to get out there. You need to subscribe to Nino and Lo.
subscribe, and you gotta watch.
You got to watch. Absolutely, you got to watch. And if you pay attention to the subscription, we have made it so it's less than a cup of coffee. Subscribe
We
to
have
Nino and Lo.
Gary here, Garry, not to be
Oh, that's
confused
a
with our
different Gary. So
Wagwan Gary, listen here,
G-A-R-R-Y.
Gary.
Big up
Welcome,
yourself,
Gary, but you have to behave yourself over here,
So
okay,
hold on,
Gary?
Gary.
All
What kind of
right.
antics Gary are going with now?
Behave yourself over here, Gary.
Call Granny Pine.
All right.
He hit you with a spoon.
I hope the moderators are paying attention in the chat today. All right, let's jump into today's episode because we've got a good one lined up for today. In today's episode, we're discussing the unwritten rules that we live by. Like, don't talk to me until I've had my cup of coffee, or come on, you have to share those fries. If you have hot fries, you got to share hot fries.
Absolutely.
Then we're going to flip the script and start airing out all our pet peeves that drive us
And I've got a whole lot of them. I've got quite a collection.
Annoyances to the bigger ones, the bigger habits that make our eyes roll out of our head, right? So grab your coffee or tea or popcorn, grab your notepad, because we're going to jump into this juicy topic and dissect it right now.
Right away.
All right.
Right away.
First things first, let's talk about this unwritten rule book. Wait a minute now. Gary says, where are you guys from? Where are you guys from? Reply, or I behave myself. We are from Toronto, Canada, Gary. Where are you from?
We're in the 416.
We're
Gary.
in the 416-905-647 Toronto.
Hey,
on the
hey,
east
hey.
side.
Hey.
We've got Kiki Rising Queen here.
Welcome to the channel,
And we're
Kiki
originally from Jamaica.
Jamaica.
As David Hunt is reminding us.
Yard we come from.
And Wise Up 786 is saying hello from Miami, Liberty City.
Welcome Miami. We
Ooh.
love it down there in
Gary-
South Beach.
Gary says he's got a lot of relatives in Toronto. Where are you from, Gary? We are Dream Warriors are saying, what's up,
What's
Rhonda
going on there,
Vanderpool?
Dream Warriors? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the chat.
Yes.
As
All
we
right.
get it on.
So, the unwritten rule book, my friends. Let's start. Let's get into the good stuff. The unwritten rules that keep us from driving each other insane.
And trust me, these rules are the glue that keeps Lo and I together, because otherwise I'd probably end up outside in the shed. So
Absolutely.
you know, you gotta follow the rules.
Gary's from Washington. All right, Washington.
What's going
DC,
on, Washington?
welcome. Okay, let me get my points in here about what my unwritten rules are. No talking to me in the morning before I had my coffee or tea. Absolutely not. This one, because he gets up so early for work,
I'm a morning
wants
bird.
to be up at 4:30,
I
5
want to be
o'clock,
chirping.
and he wants to be chirping, planning the whole day. Nut time. I can't do that. I'm a night shift worker, right? Most of my career has been night shift, so I don't like to get up at the crack of dawn. And if I do get up at the crack of dawn, I'm not functioning, right? So this is the one non-negotiable for me. I need at least 15 minutes of quiet time with my coffee, usually coffee, sometimes tea, before I can even think about discussing the day. Nino is an early riser. He jumps right up.
Ready to hit the road.
What are we
Hit
going
the
to
road
do? What's the
running.
plan? What are the, asking me all these technical questions that before I'm even awake? But nope, ain't nobody got time for that because I can't think before 7 a.m. Right?
That's you.
All right,
you.
that's number one
Yeah.
unwritten rule. The second one is if you finish it, replace it. Whether it's the milk jug, the toilet paper, the toothbrush, or toothpaste. If you finish it, replace it. There's nothing worse than reaching
Now, what's the worst
for
thing
the
that you
paper
can...
towel or the toilet paper and there's none there.
I was just about to say, just imagine reaching for that toilet paper and it's not.
So if you finish it,
that's
replace
just
it
insane.
so that I don't have to have a meltdown when it's not there. So the unwritten rule, if you finish it, replace it. All right, let me jump back here. Radora Vanderpool is saying
What's
happy
going on?
weekend to
Yes,
We Are
yes.
Dream Warriors. Gary says,
Good
all
to have you
right,
with
I'll
us.
see you guys around later. Thank you, Gary.
Take care, Gary.
Nice meeting you. Hope we'll see you again another
All right,
time.
come by.
We
Come by and
have
hang out
Life
with us
with LCP, my friend from the Philippines.
Welcome,
LC.
LCP.
She says, hello,
Straight
Nino.
out of the
Hello, good morning from the
Philippines.
Philippines.
Yes,
Guys,
ma'am. It's good to have you.
LCP lives on a beautiful little farm. I think it's either, or maybe it's just a big garden over there in the Philippines. It is beautiful. You guys have to tune into Elsie and see how she tends to all her plants, and she does a little bit of cooking in the Philippines there. I love watching Elsie.
All that gardening
it's so
for your food.
peaceful where she lives.
Absolutely.
Bluebird says, I'm listening to you, Lo. So far, we've had a great weekend, as We Are Dream Warriors is saying. And David is agreeing with me. If you finish it, replace it.
Okay. And that's
right?
fine. That's
Elsie's
perfectly
agreeing.
fine.
That's right. If you
Absolutely
finish it, replace it. Okay. See, everybody's agreeing. If you finish it, replace it. We Are Dream Warriors says, I totally agree.
And that's a general consensus, I guess.
Replace it if you use the last one. Coach Mean Reed.
Wagwan, Coach Mean Reed.
Coach.
Welcome to the
Coach,
channel. We
today
love having you here, Coach.
We are talking about unwritten rules and pet peeves.
peeves.
So right now I'm talking about my unwritten rules, and one is if you finish it, replace it. Is Tremaine back here? Tremaine Elliott, come to the front of the class. Come to the front of the class. This is our son, Tremaine. Because this one is notorious for when he has something that's finished downstairs, he comes upstairs to our bathroom and comes shopping.
He comes shopping.
So you brought that shit to air me out?
Yes,
He comes
upstairs, so he takes our stuff and he shops in our bathroom and brings it down to his.
You don't need 36 jumbo pack of toilet paper. Like, you come up on 1-2 roll.
You hear that?
Come on.
If you see, so he always finishes something and then never replaces it. This boy right there. Everyone's saying hello to Coach Mean Reen. How are you doing, Mean? Mean Coach. Coach is saying hi to you, Tremaine.
What up, Coach?
And Coach says, I still do that to my mom. Listen, Coach don't play when she's doing her workouts.
Yeah,
Coach will work you
pretty
out.
Strict.
Guys,
He'll get you going.
if you haven't connected to Coach Mean Reen.
Hold on, you gotta tell Coach that is Tremaine with a Y. My mom's kind of creative.
Ah.
It's that the creativeness in you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kind of creative. We went Y instead of
Yeah, it's TREMAYNE.
Yeah,
all right. TREMAYNE. See, Coach is saying that she still does that to her mom. She shops in their stuff, right? So if you're not connected to Coach Mean Reen, Kiki Rising Queen, connect to Coach Mean Reen, because I know that you are doing a journey where you're getting your fitness up.
Oh yeah, Coach will put you into shape.
Oh yeah, Coach Mean Reen will
get you going. She'll get you going.
I don't go to the kitchen.
There you go. All right. Can you text him, please, and tell him that we're on? That doesn't work all the time.
Yeah, it does.
All right.
We just have to go to Do Not Disturb because we had her son from Tokyo just calling
Coach
us now.
says I bring a bag when I go to her house. You see what he had?
Bag.
He brings a bag from downstairs to upstairs to get all the stuff from upstairs.
Wow.
All right. So everybody is greeting everybody. Ian says maybe the finishers need to see where the provisions are kept and shown how to proceed with the replacement.
Wait a minute. You mean, are you talking about in the supermarket or in the house?
In the house.
I would like to see.
In the house.
No, I'd like to go as far as the supermarket.
There you go, Coach Mean Reen. Tremaine, can you call Tyler and let him know that we're on? Oh, we have King Tishi is here saying hello to everybody.
Wagwan
King.
Yes.
And is Ate Grace here? Did I miss Ate Grace? Ate Grace is here? Oh, I love Ate Grace. Ate Grace does a mean karaoke, especially in the late night because she's in Texas, so her time zone's a little different. So when I'm up at my late night, I listen to Ate Grace.
Ate Grace.
Love Ate Grace. A&I Family Adventure TV is here.
Wagwan
A&I.
Wagwan, big up yourself.
A&I is from Jamaica.
Jamaica.
Now, Coach Mean Reen says, thank you guys. You always big me up every time. Oh my God, Coach, we love you.
Coach, we love you. We get the big up from your network as well.
That's
and from
right.
your family and your community. And we thank you. As we thank all our listeners.
LP says, hello, Nino and Lo, listening and making pesto.
Right.
We love making pesto over
pesto
here.
Pesto is one of those things
Let me tell you.
We grow our basil and we get some pine nuts and garlic.
Yes, we have a pesto
and we
video.
do have a pesto video.
Yes.
In case you want to check that out.
Where we make pesto from our own homegrown basil. Ate Grace, guys. Ate Grace is the bomb.com. So if you guys don't know Ate Grace, please, all of my beautiful people, Coach, Nobius, David, subscribe to Ate Grace. It's a fun time over there. And if you like singing,
absolutely. And we got our first.
This is from Creaky Rising Queen.
Is that our first
we got
super
our
chat
first
of the day?
chat.
Kiki Rising Queen, big up yourself.
Thank
you so much for that.
And Kiki is a member. Kiki's a member. She's joined our membership.
So encouraging you guys to get out there and join the membership.
Thank you. All right. Ian says, why not both? Learning life skills deserves the time, n'est-ce pas? Ooh, you put that little bit of français.
N'est-ce pas? I like that.
I like that little bit of français added there because, you know, I am a French connoisseur. I took French all throughout high school. I never used it.
Stop.
What?
Stop the self-praise.
I like the little French. N'est-ce pas? You said n'est-ce pas.
N'est-ce pas.
Okay. Wise up 786, and please don't leave the teaspoon of juice in the juice cart in the refrigerator.
You know that.
Boom. See that? As the Jamaicans say, that is it.
That is it. That is it.
All right. Okay.
You know, we've seen that a lot.
This is one of my rule books. If you cook, you're clean. If you cook, you're clean. It's different.
Now we have an arrangement.
It's different.
We do have an arrangement.
If I say I'm gonna clean, if Nino's cooking dinner and I'm the cleanup crew, a thorough cleanup crew, that's one thing. But if I'm not involved and we don't have a deal and you just go in there to make yourself a little snack or a sandwich or whatever, clean it up. What do you mean? You're the biggest offender.
Me?
He'll come, empty his lunchbox from work, and he has a sink full of Tupperware. After the sink is empty, the kitchen's clean. I come back, the sink is full of Tupperware.
I just figure you know I do that.
It's Nino's.
I do that simply because I know you pack the dishwasher before you go to bed.
I don't put the Tupperwares in the dishwasher.
I didn't know that.
So he doesn't. He just throws them in there for me. So
I know you're gonna pack the dishwasher, but now you're clarifying that you don't put the Tupperware in the dishwasher.
All right. Here's one that irks me.
Why 786?
I don't know why. I don't know. But can you turn your volume down there?
We're having it.
All right.
I thought 786 was
Here is my another one. No complaining about my music. If you're in my car and I'm driving you, it's my choice, my music, my settings.
So in other words, don't touch your stereo.
Don't touch my stereo, okay? Whoever's driving controls the tunes, okay? And the volume.
Touching your stereo is like jumping in front of you at a buffet, right?
That's right. So whoever's driving controls the tunes and the volume. All right. Okay. Wise Up says, okay, we said that. Ate says, good to see you both. Thank you for being here. All right, everybody is hailing everybody. Coach Mean Reen says, parlez-vous français?
Oui, parlez-vous français?
Parlez-vous français? Mais oui, mademoiselle.
Oui, mademoiselle.
Mais oui. Parlez-vous français un petit peu? Okay, now I'm getting ahead of myself. Wow.
What's going on?
Pinky AFM is welcoming the Nino and Lo crew. Pinky AFM is also a member. Thank you so much. David Hunt says, I'm already subscribed to Ate Grace, so you know how wonderful she is.
Thank you so much, David.
And King She is saying,
love the support you give our community.
Listen, all of us over here in Canada have a little bit of français on board, right?
Just a little bit.
Just a petit peu. See, Ate Grace says she hand washes her Tupperware too. Coach says, my hubby does the same things, leaves all the Tupperware for me. See?
It's a man thing.
You see?
It's a man thing.
So we got
It's a man thing.
TVL Saria sees, I seem to have lost my number. Can I have yours? Which number do you want?
How about number 1?
Ian St. Clair says, if the dishwasher is packed, Nino, should it be run, emptied, or ignored? Boom. See that?
Wow,
See
Ian.
that,
Ian,
Ian?
I don't know how to take
You're
that.
coming
Ian.
with the zingers
I
this
don't know
week,
how to
Ian.
take
I
that,
love
Ian.
that. I love that.
I don't know how to take that.
Coach says, yes. Life with Elsie says, ha, ha, ha. I too don't like a messy kitchen after cooking. Okay.
I try to wash my ears.
TVL Soraya, we hear you. We hear you. Tamp it down, my friend. Tamp it down. Ian says, je parle français. And Nobius, our Bluebird says, don't touch my tunes. We have just a girly mess is saying hi, just a girly mess, and welcome to our live.
So as we're talking about don't touch, as Coach Reen just said, don't touch her what?
What?
I think she just said don't touch something or other.
She said they don't like it. She doesn't like a. Elsie said she doesn't like a messy messy kitchen after she's finished cooking. Yeah. David Hunter is reminding everybody to please make sure that the comments are respectful. Yes, we like a clean live over
Just
here.
Keep it live. Keep it clean.
Ron 1 is in the house. Ron 1. Keep it nice, Ron 1.
Is that right? That's not Ryan 1, is it?
Francais is busted French mixed up with English. Franglaise. Oh, you speak Franglaise. I see.
Franglaise.
All right, so we have Pinky AFM. You're my my moderator today. So I want you to keep your eye on the chat, please.
Keep an eye on these guys.
Ron 1 says, may the Lord Almighty, I guess that means bless you. Thank you. We can all use some blessings.
Thank you so much, Ron 1.
All right.
We appreciate that.
This is another thing that bugs me, guys. Part of my unwritten rule book. Don't leave an empty container in the fridge. If it's empty, it's trash. Don't leave it there for the next person. Don't leave one little toops of juice.
Why not? I mean, that just means
or
you don't have to. Means you don't have to replace the bag.
You ever go in the fridge, you open the big tub of butter, thinking that you're gonna butter some toast or something when there's not even a little scraping of butter left, right? Come on, Victoria.
We're just thinking about the next person.
We're
just some consideration.
Says, please give me your home tour, please. All right, Mamta, I've never seen you here before. Are you subscribed? Are you subscribed, Mamta? All right, Nino.
You want a home tour? You got to subscribe.
Nino,
so
it's your turn now. What are your unwritten rules?
When you talk about unwritten rules, one of my biggest one is don't touch my stuff without returning it to where it was originally. Now, this one here is very guilty of doing stuff like removing my phone charger. Yes. Each time, I'm going to bed, I'm ready to plug my phone in. There's no phone charger because it's somewhere other than where it should be.
I am guilty.
You're very guilty of that.
I am guilty.
You're very guilty. Do you think that this stuff just replaces itself?
Well,
it stresses me out when you do that.
I am guilty of that. I am guilty of that.
Because it's my stuff, not your stuff. It's my stuff, and it's not, my stuff is not for community chest.
Okay. Well, I am guilty of that because I always forget to bring it back before he notices that it's gone.
Yeah, don't touch the charger.
I always notice that it's gone. I always notice the charger is gone. And the other point is, the last person that is up is the person that's responsible for turning off the lights.
Oh, that's a good one.
Be asking me to get up and turn off the lights. That's a good one.
If I'm in my bed already and you come into the room and you don't turn off the lights, you're getting up under the covers and you're turning off the lights. Last man in turns off the lights.
Should be responsible for
I agree with that one. I agree with that. And I do that. I don't come in and not turn off the lights. Do I?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You do it all the time.
Okay.
And my other point is,
Wise Up 786 said sac passe.
Oh, now we're getting into the sac passe, eh?
Sac passe. Coach Mean Reed says, I do. They too, Lo. What's yours is mine and mine is yours, right? That's true.
Well, no, I don't disagree with you, Coach. I'm all for that. Just put it back where you find it. That's all I'm asking. Put it back.
Coach says that. Mamta, yes, I subscribe and I like, also a big fan of yours. Please give me your house tour. Well, not today, Mamta. Maybe one day, but not today. But we have
Another
lots
day.
of videos where you can see our house, especially the backyard and stuff.
Backyard, you can see it. And my other point is, don't interrupt me when I'm binge watching my shows.
Oh my God.
Keep all the questions and all the commentaries
Let me
for
tell
after
you,
my episode.
this man
Okay?
is a huge
Oh,
Hogan's Hero
Oh
fan.
my goodness.
He's
I love
probably
me some
watched
Hogan's
every
Hero.
episode, but yet if he's watching it and you ask him a question, he turns into a fool because he's not listening to you.
I don't want to talk to anyone. When I'm watching Hogan's Hero, it's all about me and Hogan.
Yes.
If you know what I mean. If you're familiar with Hogan's Hero at all, you know where that's coming from. Now, my other point, respect the sleep schedule.
Okay, I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one.
Keep the noise down. Now, this one
I'll
here
give you that one.
refuses to wear her earphones.
I'll give you that one.
And she wants to have whatever it is she's watching blaring while I'm trying to fall asleep.
Well, you
That's
know
not going
what?
to work
Because
too well.
like I said, I'm a night shift person, so I'm awake at 2:00 in the morning.
You're wired for sound.
He wants to go to sleep at 8:30.
That's right. I want to go to sleep.
I get that point.
And that's very much like me getting up at 4:00 in the morning.
And then you want to talk to me.
And I want to talk to you. You don't want to talk to me. So it's got to be respectful both
Now
ways.
Gary says, "Yo, I'm still here." Oh, that's good, Gary. I'm glad that you're still here. And Rustam says, "Louis Armstrong."
Louis Armstrong.
I don't know what that means, Rustam,
He's just
but I'm
telling you
glad to
that
have you here.
He's telling you Louis' arm is strong.
Okay, Louis Armstrong. Okay, Louis
like
Armstrong or Rustam, what's your pet peeve? I want to hear what your guys' pet peeves are. We just told you ours. I want to hear what some of yours are. Now, David Hunter had mentioned about people not washing their hands when they're in rest stops.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, pet peeve. No, that was our unwritten rule, right?
Those are unwritten rules. These are
our pet peeves that drive us absolutely nuts. Okay, I'm gonna go first. Actually, that just now saying my unwritten rules was like a personal therapy session because I've got some pet peeves that drive me absolutely nuts. And guess who's the one that tops the list?
Wow, really?
But anyways, my number one pet peeve that drives me nuts is when Nino is in his half listening mode. You guys get that? The half listening spouse? One of the biggest pet peeves is when Nino is pretending to listen, but is clearly somewhere else. Like when he's watching his Hogan's Hero. I'm pouring out my brain with all my ideals coming out, and he's giving me the and he's still on his phone. You know, it's like, just
see,
pause
now,
and listen
I
to
am
me.
listening to you, though. I am listening to you. Hence the reason why we have 2 ears and only 1 mouth.
See
I
what
do
Ian
listen
says?
twice as
Ian
much as I
says
speak.
lack of manners.
It's got nothing to do with
Lack
manners, Ian.
of manners.
I've got manners.
Samantha,
I can listen with the left ear and the right ear and just compartmentalize
but you're
things.
not absorbing. You're just
So you want my full undivided.
Full undivided.
Gotcha.
Samantha
I will
Kate
take
is
that in
here.
mind.
Everybody say hello to Samantha Kate.
What's going on,
Samantha? See,
Samantha?
Coach is laughing because she knows.
Big up yourself.
My other pet peeve that drives me nuts, guys, is when people leave their stuff all over the place. Nino has a talent for leaving his stuff all over the house. Socks on the couch, keys on the kitchen counter, cup on the side of the bed. Everything should have its place, but apparently everything belongs nowhere for Nino. And then he can't remember where he put them. So then he comes to me to ask where his stuff is. If he had put it away in the first place, then you'd know where to find it. Not true.
And guys, we all do that. We all do that.
But you are a special breed.
You know what? I am special indeed.
See, Coach says everything belongs to nowhere. And Samantha said he's hearing, not literally completely.
Does this sound familiar to you guys
Yeah.
at all? Does this happen in your household?
And Ian says about manners, not you, Nino, just generally.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, Ian, you're
Pet
right.
peeves.
You're right. You're right.
Coach is laughing.
Manners is a
Everything
big
belongs
thing.
nowhere.
Everything belongs nowhere.
See? That's right, Samantha. He's just not listening. Okay, this is another one of mind you, this is my turn. I have the floor. That's why it seems like I'm ragging on Nino. The loud headphones. Jesus Christ. Take me out now. Take me out now today with the loud headphones. Sometimes we're all in our own devices. We all have headphones on. Why is Nino's at ear bleeding volume? I can hear every word of his show, and he's laughing, and you'll ask him something. He's on the top of his voice. What did you say? With this loud ear.
And part
If
of
I'm
that,
lying,
part
I'm
of that
dying.
reason,
Tremaine can attest.
part of that reason, and
Oh.
I will respond to that. Part of that reason is the fact that I've got a $20 headphone and you got a $200 headphone.
How
so
do you
yours,
not hear yourself?
So yours have this noise canceling feature, and mine doesn't. And I sacrifice mine so you can have a $200 headphone.
That takes me out every time, guys. I don't want to hear your show. I don't want to hear your show.
Well, it happens. Maybe I ought to invest in it.
We Are Dream Warrior says a lot of us are guilty of some of these pet peeves, and Samantha is laughing. All right, so Nino, you got the floor. That was some of my pet peeves. Now you got the floor.
Lo has her therapy session.
I had my therapy session.
So now it's my turn to talk about the little things that we want to drink water or run around the block before we say something that we will regret.
Poor Nino. He's having trouble keeping up with my notes. I'm sorry.
Let me tell you. There's a lot of times I just want to have the water in my mouth.
Drink water and mind your business.
Because this one here is a procrastinator. And she's not just a procrastinator. She's queen procrastinator.
I'm guilty of that. It's because I have so many things on my plate that I keep saying, okay, I can put that off, and then I end up putting it off.
And now Lo is the queen of putting things off to the last minute, especially when it's come to anything that she's not in the mood for.
True.
You know, I'd be like, hey, are you going to do this today? And she'll be like, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week.
Because don't direct my day. I'll direct my day.
I'm stressing. Now, do you think that procrastination is a habit, or is that your full-time job?
Well, I think it's a little bit of both.
You seem to do well procrastinating. You seem to do very well.
That's true. And Bluebird says it's good to have a safe space to talk about these subjects. That is true. Kiki Rising Queen is laughing, and We Are Dream Warriors says it's true. Headphones are all different. We got to get y'all some good headphones. That's right. We got to get you some good headphones because you're taking me out, and you're gonna make yourself deaf before time.
And everything has its place.
Everything does have its place.
Now, Lowe's organizational skills are legendary. And by legendary, I mean she puts stuff away to the point where she completely forgets where she put stuff. It is unbelievable.
That's true.
There is stuff. Now, I have a story about. I'm going to hold that story for another time. But I have a story
because I organize and then I don't remember where I put certain. Like right now, I can't even imagine what's in my storeroom downstairs. I remember a couple months ago, I organized it to the max, got rid of some stuff, but I don't remember really what's in there. And then generally, what happens? We try to find something, we can't find it, we end up buying another one. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But what I'm going to advise you to do is just, don't put things away so much. Leave stuff in the open so I can at least see them.
Yeah, but then that's a mess. I can find everything has its place.
I realize that, but we need to be able to find things.
Well, Novia says it's hard for people to focus these days. Jibby N says, "What's up, Nino? I don't know what's up, Jibby." And Nikhil the Sapien says butter chicken, 3 roti, half a jar of rice with lemon and onion, having extra butter salad parcel. What? Nikki, that sounds good. Now Ian is saying somebody asking for my attention from another room is out of order. Calls come from phones, not people who are lazy to come find me. Unless they're facing an emergency, of course. You know what? We do that all the time. Between everybody that's in the house, they don't come to find you to tell you what they need to tell you. They send you a text or they call you on the phone within the same building.
I tell you one of the things that drives me nuts about Lo. Now Lo has a PhD in changing her mind.
True.
She changes her mind at the drop of a dime.
True.
We're going to be doing something and then
because it's my prerogative.
It seems like it's your prerogative, and it absolutely drives me nuts that we're all set and ready and organized to do something, and at the drop of a dime, she changes her mind. Yeah. And plans changes.
That's true.
It's not that hard to stick to a plan, but
I am guilty of that. I am guilty of that. Okay, so we are at the segment where we're going to talk about where the written rules clash with the pet peeves. They clash, right? Because they almost sound like the same thing.
They are quite similar, though.
Nikki, the sapien, and her brother are locking each other out of the house. Nikki, the sapien, you and your brother, Gangoba, need to go and tap other people about your lock out of your house and be able to sell. You hear me?
Wanna go cut key.
Wanna go cut a key. All right. Rules clashing with pet peeves. Okay. So Nino just told you about his top pet peeves. I told you about my top 10 pet peeves. That's a tongue twister. But I feel lighter already. I got them off of my chest. So here we go. Let's be real. A lot of these pet peeves clash with the unwritten rules. It's inevitable,
That's
right? All right. This is where it gets a little bit messy. Some of those pet peeves, they're basically the result of our unwritten rules being too strict or us breaking those unwritten rules, right?
Yeah, like our rules are supposed to be kept. It's supposed to keep the peace, and sometimes it's already the source of a drama.
Poor tongue tied, Nino.
He
He can't follow my writing, but that's okay. All right, this no talking to me before coffee business. Poor Nino can't help it. So okay. Nino breaks that rule every time, but he starts asking him about the day's plans before I even have had my first sip. That's a given, right? It's like he forgets that the rule even exists. So.
But in actuality, yeah, I am very much guilty of that. But
okay.
Sometimes I'm just excited, just simply excited about the day and what's ahead.
Or you just need to know where your stuff is that you didn't put away properly.
No, that could be true sometimes.
So a pet peeve is created because you break the rule. So.
Everything is in place except for when Nino needs it.
Okay. I've got a rule about putting everything away, but it can also be a pet peeve for Nino because sometimes he can't find what he needs. So you see how that works? It's a rule for me, but it becomes a pet peeve for him.
And I'm telling you that sometimes I'd rather live with a little clutter and search for the spatula for half an hour
than actually have things in their place.
Yeah.
Well, I think I can give and take a little bit, right? I can give and take a little bit. So we do need to relax our rules a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that if it's becoming a pet peeve for the other person, relax your rules a little bit and see, if it's a little bit of a good and take. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Ian,
so right.
Nobius is laughing, go critically, listening to when the rules clash.
The rules clash, they clash, they clash.
All right. Okay, so maybe our rules and pet peeves are all a part of the same messy, complicated package that's called life. But hey, that's what makes us us, right, guys?
That's right.
Now, Bluebird says that their pet peeve is people stirring tea or coffee with the clang, clang, clang from their spoon. I don't mind that. What's wrong with that?
Oh, you know what my pet peeve is?
What? You have to come on camera.
But even when they clash, though, we have to try and laugh about it.
You have to try and laugh. You have to try and laugh. What's your pet peeve?
I don't like when people use their windshield wipers.
Okay.
When there ain't no rain.
Why not?
Like, let's say the rain
stopped.
stopped.
What if you're cleaning the window?
No, you could be cleaning your window.
No, let's say let's say you're driving, the rain stopped, the sun's coming out now, right?
Right.
But the windshield wiper is still going, but nothing not going.
I think a lot of times they forget to turn it off.
Yeah, but for me, it's annoying because I'll probably be the one to remind you. Like,
and you forget to turn it off.
Things on.
And Bluebird says if it's too loud for too long, it drives me crazy. The clang, clang, clang. Well, I'm guilty of that because my car does an automatic thing when it detects the moisture on the windshield.
Right, so it should turn off.
It should turn off, but sometimes it might stay going for a little bit longer.
But a lot of us have a manual where we have to do it manually.
Yeah, maybe.
And we don't necessarily. Sometimes you forget to turn it off.
Yeah, maybe.
And your mind might be somewhere else, and you thinking about other things.
Yeah. But you would hear that the windshield is grinding,
yeah,
right?
If it's grinding.
If it's grinding. Yeah. But pet peeves and unwritten rules, it all depends on how far you want to go with it, right?
I think it's an individual thing.
It's an individual thing. You got to lighten up a little bit. Like if you're too rigid with your unwritten rules, then you're going to be going crazy every day because people are going to be breaking them rules, right? unless they're like serious. Like today we were talking about lighthearted rules, like picking up your socks and don't hide my, don't steal my charger.
Don't steal my charger.
Like we're talking about lighthearted rules, but stuff like, the clanging of the coffee in the teacup, that's not a big deal. I don't think that's a big deal, but to Bluebird, that's a big deal.
Yeah, people get annoyed over different things. It's, that's what makes us all different.
Pet peeves are created every time they break a rule. Right? All right. So I think we've gone through all our notes.
So.
Oh my God, we did so good, guys.
We've gone through quite a bit.
So now should we write some new rules to help balance things out?
Well,
how about that?
We could.
We could write some new rules so that you don't go crazy by making yourself having all this long list of pet peeves, right?
And I mean, with all this clash with pet peeves and rules, we could just lighten things up and just laugh about it.
Now, We Are Dream Warriors says when people drag their feet across the floor and they don't walk. When they walk,
lift their feet.
When they walk, they drag their feet across the floor. So in other words, they don't lift their feet.
And I'll tell you who does that a lot.
Who?
Your granddaughter.
Does
I have
she?
to constantly tell her, lift your feet. Because she just drags her feet.
Dream Warrior says that's a huge pet peeve. Oh, how could I forget? My biggest pet peeve in life is repeating myself.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh,
you don't do that with me, do you?
My goodness.
You do that with me?
If I say something to you, especially if I explain something to you, and not even 2 seconds later you say, huh? What'd you say? That drives me utterly bananas. That means you weren't listening to me at all.
Maybe the person was listening and just compartmentalized things.
Oh, that drives me bananas. Bananas. Now, Ian says, as a pedestrian, drivers who roll at a red light will get a glare from me. Safe drivers will get a peace sign. Oh,
you know what they call that? You know what they call that, Ian? They call that California roll.
You know who does that? This one.
I don't do that.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
Yeah, you do. Sometimes I wonder, are you going to stop? Are you going to stop?
No. She is a backseat driver.
I'm a safe driver. Thank you very much.
Driver.
I am a safe driver.
You're a
Thank you very much. Now, We Are Dream Warriors. Our Nobia's Nightshade is laughing at We Are Dream Warriors. Could you please repeat that, Lo? I said Nino is an unsafe driver at times.
That is not true. That is so unfair that you're classing me as an unfair driver.
As a pedestrian, drivers who roll at a red light would get a glare from him. But
I tend to be respectful of pedestrians.
You are respectful of pedestrians, but sometimes when you come up to a stop, you roll and you keep going.
Do I?
Sometimes.
I don't know.
Let's just say that if you're driving, I'm not going to be sleeping in the passenger seat. I have to be fully awake, like as if I can do anything to change your driving, but I have to be alert.
But be a backseat driver.
I'm not in the back seat though.
Well, you're in the front seat being a backseat driver.
I'm not in the back seat.
Giving me instructions as to what to do and how to drive.
No, I don't give you.
Oh, yes, you do.
Nobia says, I can be a backseat driver sometimes. And Ian says, you're essentially moving a weapon towards an unarmed civilian. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, Bluebird is saying, but I see some people drive like
they're in a video game. Oh,
yeah,
and you know what? I don't know, but I'm not into the night driving these days. I don't like being on the highway when it's too late. I don't know. I don't like the glare from the other cars, the crazy driving. Maybe it's because there's been a lot of accidents in the news lately.
And it's so funny though that Ian is asking you to repeat yourself because he's just being a brat, as he is being a brat.
Oh,
he's just testing you.
Ian
is saying testing.
Pourquoi?
1, 2, 3.
Pourquoi, mon cher? Pourquoi?
Why? She wants to know why.
Pourquoi? Listen, I like to being able to. Oh, see, he's giving himself the little angel with the halo. Sometimes I don't know. Our pet peeves will change as time goes on.
As we get older.
Yeah, certain things
irritate
bug me now that before it was like, No big deal. Like before, it used to be the shoes at the door. My pet peeves was the shoes at the door. There's a million shoes.
So I
lined up.
walk in this door, and this lady will pick up my shoes each and every time I take them off, and she has a special spot for them. Can you imagine that?
That's right.
She has a special spot for my shoes.
Correct.
I don't understand
A
that.
special spot for work boots. They look like they weigh 50 pounds each, and he comes in and leaves them right in the middle of the intersection of the front door.
But here's where you change, because once upon a time you used to come off your duty, and you would leave your shoes outside.
Yes.
And you wouldn't bring them inside.
That's correct.
Then next time around, you started putting them in a plastic bag.
Correct.
But now you just put them inside. You don't plastic them, or do you?
Yeah, but I put them in a specific spot.
Well, you do have them in a specific spot.
A specific spot.
What happened to the practice of putting them in a bag or leaving them outside?
Well,
things change.
Things change.
People change.
People change.
There you go.
Yvette Guthrie is
What's
here.
going
She's
on,
saying
cuz?
hello.
Yvette, welcome to the channel.
Yvette's in Florida. Everybody say
Sunny
hi
Florida.
to Yvette from sunny Florida. Now,
well, let's be more specific. Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Okay.
Florida's a
Well,
big
you
state.
don't dox her.
Stop it, nice. Miami. West Palm.
We Are Dream Warriors says, what about turning without signaling?
That is very irritating.
That's irritating.
Yeah.
That is irritating. Especially when people are riding your bumper.
I don't ride bumpers.
Comes to within an inch of a bumper,
No,
and then all of a sudden the person just turns.
You have to understand, this lady has problems with my driving no matter what. Every move that I make, she's making the move with me. She's very uneasy when she drives with me. Yeah. You should just drive by yourself, Miss Daisy.
That's okay. I'll be Miss Daisy, but I'll be safe and I'll arrive alive. Okay?
So would I.
I'll arrive
alive as well.
Bluebird says, ooh, that's a big one. Nobiet says, you got a great pet peeve there, Jen Tosh. Oh, did I miss Jen Tosh? Oh, Jen Tosh's pet peeve are people who cross the road whilst texting.
Ooh, that's a big one. That's a big one. I do recall I almost hit a lady one time because she just walked out on the side without even looking.
Even though they have the right of way.
No, I had the right of way.
You still have to look.
I had the right of way, and she was just walking out into oncoming traffic because she was texting on
even though their light says go and they just walk out, you still need to be looking. Pay attention to them. As they used to always say, you think you can grease car wheel?
You think I've ever seen a car in a hospital bed? I haven't seen that yet. I haven't seen that yet. So
all right. People who cross whilst text, people who are doing everything while texting. You could be in the mall, you're walking, somebody's just coming at you full speed. Texting.
That's when you put out your foot and just...
No, I wouldn't do that. But I think that's the culture that we're in right now, right? It's the text culture.
The text culture. It's everywhere.
All right. And Nobius is saying that's a good one. Now, Yvette is saying WPB. What does WPB mean?
What the something? WPB?
I don't know what that means.
What does that one mean?
That's another pet peeve of mine. All these gosh damn acronyms. I don't know none of them.
We got to get an acronym book.
We need an acronym book.
I haven't gotten past LOL yet.
LOL and KMT and...
I'm saying LOL. I haven't gotten past that yet.
Everyone's saying, what's up? Now, Ian says, alive and less stressed. That's right, Ian. I'm arriving alive and less stressed.
WPB is West Palm Beach.
Oh, jeez, Louise. I would have never known that.
West Palm Beach, WPB.
Now, Bluebird says, I hate when people chew gum with their mouths open, shaking my head.
Ian is saying lots of love, Nino. Yeah, lots of love, Ian.
To pedestrians acting a fool. That's Ian's pet peeve. Pedestrians acting the fool. Or, you know what I can't stand? They'll be standing there and they don't press the button. All of a sudden, you get close. They press the button and just jump out. So you basically have to slam on your brake.
Yesterday I experienced 3 kids just running across the street.
Oh my God.
You know, just 2 minutes from home. They just turned around. She was looking the opposite direction and running across the street to oncoming traffic.
Wow.
And needless to say, she was quite frightened when she looked around and there was a car.
Now, lots of love, Nino. That's what Ian is saying your LOL is.
LOL. I know what LOL is. Thanks, Ian. That's the only one I know.
KMT, kiss me teeth.
Kiss me teeth. Where'd that come from?
KMT is kiss me teeth.
Kiss me teeth. Oh,
you know like, kiss me teeth. Let me know that.
That's part of the Urban Dictionary.
That's part of the Urban Dictionary. Okay. Kiss me teeth.
How about...
What?
KMR.
What's KMR?
Kiss my ass.
Oh, I
I
don't.
could come up with that one. I made that up. Kiss
Oh,
my ass.
I don't see KMR across
All right.
coming.
Not yet. It will be used soon, though.
We Are Dream Warriors says, funny thing is, we are all the acting like the fool pedestrian at one time. Remember, hit me now, bunks me now, if you think you're bad.
Hit me now,
bunks me
hit me
now.
now.
I've never said that in my life, We Are Dream Warriors. You think
You said that as a kid,
I'm
though.
the pedestrian and I'm going to say to the car, hit me now, bunks me now? No, ain't nobody got time for that. I'm not doing that because you might come across
somebody that's going to take you up on that.
Novia says, oh yes, slow drivers. Well, I might be considered a slow driver, but I go the speed limit.
You're proud of that?
I'm very proud of that.
I'm happy for
Although,
you.
I've only ever got one parking ticket in my life, and that was for going 40
No, you
in a
got
50
a speeding
zone.
ticket.
Or, sorry,
She
a
got a
speeding
speeding
ticket
ticket.
for going
mind you,
40
She
kilometers.
was upset for weeks.
So upset.
For weeks that she got a speeding
Because
ticket.
I wasn't even the leader car. I was just following the traffic. I was going 40. Mind you, the police officer never showed up because I challenged the ticket and it went nowhere. But still.
You were just irked by that, eh?
I'm still very irked by it. I had my uniform on with my badge and everything. We're supposed to be like this, police officer.
So he said, don't give me that ticket?
For something so small?
Well,
Come on.
He was probably having a bad day. Or trying to reach his quota. And you're just the last ticket to his
We
quota.
have Arian Alam here. Arian, you have to behave yourself, Arian, because listen, the Nino and Low crew, we don't take no foolishness over here, so you know.
We don't put up with that.
So if you come over here with your foolishness, nobody now gonna tolerate you. We have lots of eyes in the chat. So now Ian says parents paying attention to their phones instead of their little ones at the intersection boils my blood.
Yes. And I can just see sometimes, parents are in the mall with their little ones, not holding on to them in their phone, and somebody can just easily just take their arm and walk away with them.
That's true.
So there's an element of danger there as well.
We are a cell phone society now, so we have to try and, live with the phone and
we have to use it properly.
You have to use discretion, right?
And discretion is a must.
We Are Dream Warriors says, what about being late? Late people.
Don't have time for late people.
You're the one that's always late.
I'm never late.
Oh my goodness.
I'm never late.
Tremaine Elliott, is your father always late?
Yeah.
He's
late
always late.
Late doing what?
And not only is he late, when he's running late and you call him and say, where are you? He lies. Either he doesn't answer the phone or he lies and tells you he's around the corner when he's really like 40 minutes away.
Well, if you ask,
hear that? Tremaine says those are ninja lies.
If you ask any of my coworkers,
I'll be there in 5 minutes.
If you ask any of my coworkers, guess what? I'm always at work on time. I'm never late for work.
That's not your personal time.
Yeah,
that's right.
Personal time,
you're different. When it's your professional job, you're very different. You hear what Tremaine just called it? He said those are ninja lies, right? Where you'll say, "Yeah, man, me soon come," when really you're not there for another 5 hours. Those are ninja lies.
That's another proving point that I am what?
You know what's
I
crazy?
am Jamaican.
Those type of
when
people,
we say "me soon come,"
no,
that could mean 5 minutes, 5 hours, or 5 days. Me soon come.
Those type of people, you have to lie to them to have them comply.
That's right. So you have to tell Nino that the function starts at 1 when it really starts at 3.
Wow.
And I'm
and then he might get there at 3:30.
That's right. You see that? I'm not late. When we have a flight to catch, I like to be there super early. He seems to think if we are there 1 minute before the gate closes, we're early.
Good.
We're good. I don't like all that stress, okay? So I'm not late. I'd rather be early. You get there, you have a coffee, you chill. All right, so who's with me? Who's with me here? See, Nobius is laughing about Nino. I can see it in your face, Nino. Nino's always on time for work. He is always on time for work.
And
when it comes to work,
I gotta share this with you
ultimate
guys.
Professional.
I gotta share this with you guys that I learned to be punctual for work, and I learned that from my mother-in-law.
Yes.
She always she'd get to work 2 hours before she start and sit and have a coffee, and Mom would always get upset. Why can't you be early?
Yeah.
So I started being early from her, encouragement from her, and I haven't been late for work once in the last 20 years.
Now, Ian says, I'm notoriously late and apologetically so, focusing with my therapist on how to improve. Well, that's
Wow.
there you go. There you go.
You're taking it to the therapist, Ian. That's it.
Well,
We need to
there
be
could
punctual.
be reasons why
Yeah.
you're late. Why are you late? Is it that you're taking extra time with self-care to make sure that everything is done before you go out of the house? Or is it that you just, I don't know, you're just tired and you don't get up and get your butt together?
And some people are just chronic laters.
Ooh.
They, always late for everything.
Nobia says, what about the people who crack their knuckles? Ooh,
What's wrong with that?
that irks me too. And all those people who crack their knuckles, they're going to be, in their old age, they're going to have arthritis with big swollen knuckle
is that why
fingers.
I can't close my,
Oh.
my fist?
Cracking your knuckles, that
Really?
irks me too. I don't like that. That is a pet peeve. People who crack their knuckles.
It's not a bad thing.
Bluebird says, I try to be on time, but it doesn't always work out. Well,
As long as you put in the effort, Bluebird, the
All
effort
right.
counts for a lot.
All right, here comes We Are Dream Warriors, just licking my pet peeve button. He says, leaving dishes in the sink, especially when there are no dishes in the sink. And I try my best not to leave dishes in the sink because let me tell you, in this house, as soon as you leave one dish, one spoon, one fork in
It's
the sink,
encouragement for
that
everybody else.
gives everybody license
Well-
to pile up the sink.
Well, funny that you should say that
Okay.
because I was just preparing dinner a short while ago
Yeah.
when this lovely lady next to me came into the kitchen and put a plate, a spoon, and a coffee cup on the table in the
Because
kitchen.
we were
and
get-
she whoa, and she walked away from it. And I'm thinking to myself, can you imagine? She has that as a pet peeve, but she just broke her own rule. So there,
That is true. That
There.
is it. That is
I was waiting for that.
That
That
is
was my
because
opportunity.
we were getting ready to go live,
That's no excuse.
and the dishwasher's full. I
That's
didn't
no
have
excuse.
time to empty the dishwasher.
So who put the stuff in the dishwasher?
I stand corrected. Yes, I was guilty. Now Ian says I'll be late to meet the maker. Oh my gosh! Don't say that. I'll be late to meet the maker. He says you'll always be right on time for the maker. Bluebird says, "Oh, my pile up of dishes in the sink. Arrgh, they don't like the pile up of dishes.
No, I
in
don't
the
like
sink
dishes
either."
in the sink. I get tickled by that.
Yes.
Don't like that.
Well, guys, we are rounding out to the last little bit of time. Where are we at? We're at 66 minutes.
Is that six? We still got a
We
ways
still
to
got a
go.
little time.
We still got a little
Nobia
time.
says using a speakerphone in public is annoying, and sometimes,
Ooh.
especially in public places.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
is
that's-
a good one.
That's a good one.
Okay, we
Speakerphone in public.
have Renee walking through the door. Renee, we're putting you on the spot. Get over here. Renee just walked in. She just came from the gym, so she probably thinks, "Oh my God, I'm not camera ready," but she's always camera ready, guys.
Crazy.
She just came from the gym, so today we're talking about pet peeves and unwritten rules, things that irk you. So somebody just said people who use speakerphones in public. What's your pet peeve?
I have like two people, like it's similar to that one.
Okay.
People who play, like they're on their phone in public and it's really, really loud.
That's the one we just
Okay,
spoke about. That's
we just
right.
spoke about that. Yes or no? Does Nino sit there when we're all in the room with his headphones or whatever blaring, and we're all in our phone, and all you hear is his music, his show?
Sometimes.
Ah, there you go.
But like I
Okay.
said, they are cheap headphones. Can you
Okay,
buy me
bless,
some
bless
noise
up the
canceling?
super chat so we can get in some
Please,
headphones.
I need some noise
Okay.
canceling headphones.
What's your next one, Renee?
Okay. This one is like high on the list.
Okay.
People who smack when they eat food.
Ooh,
yeah.
or slurp when they drink soup.
Yeah.
Oh my
Like every
god.
slurp or every bite doesn't require a lot of noise.
That's true.
So that's
That
one of
is
my-
Ouch.
that is a pet peeve. All that lip smacking.
Yeah, no.
That makes me lose my appetite.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much for participating in our live.
You know,
And
another,
guys,
you know another one?
that is the makeup artist extraordinaire.
Yes.
One of these days, I'm gonna do a live where she does my makeup
Yes,
in
we're
her
gonna do that.
studio,
We're definitely
and we're
do
gonna
that.
go live so you guys can all see her handiwork because she's amazing, guys. She does a lot of big stars who will remain nameless, but she's good with the makeup, guys. Not that I really need any, but anyhow. Now you understand Lowe's frustration with that specific pet peeve. Using the speakerphone in public is annoying.
It is pretty annoying.
So when
One thing I'll tell you, you won't hear that in Japan.
No,
it's
in
quiet as
Japan,
ever.
their culture, they follow rules,
Yeah, they
especially in
don't-
public.
They wouldn't do that.
You, with all those people on the subway, imagine if you could hear all their phones. Oh, it is silence. You
Silence.
can hear a pin,
Pin
drop.
drop.
Now Ian said, or Gary says, question for you as a couple. Okay.
Do you believe or think that there's an unwritten rule that committed couples,
married or
etc.,
etc., should stay together regardless of the struggles they face?
It's called adversity.
No, he says, do you think that there's an unwritten rule? I don't think there's an unwritten rule, but I think a lot of people
I think the situation depends on. There's no.
I think a lot of people might give up this culture. I can't speak for anybody else, but I would say this generation tends to be more dismissive and more canceling. Like, one false move and you're out of there.
Yeah.
Like they don't try
they don't
to
take the time to kind of work through
or fix. But
yeah.
I don't think there's an unwritten rule. I think that you're obligated to try to figure it out. Maybe it's a simple fix. Like you stop bitching at me for waking you up at the crack of dawn, and I'll stop waking you up at the crack of dawn every time.
Should always be a conversation and a compromise.
But I don't think it's an unwritten rule. And then it depends on what the offense is, right? It depends. Everybody has their deal breakers. And then some. Gary says, We Are Dream Warriors says, stay on topic, Gary. That is on topic. That is on topic. And we have completed our topic, so it's a free-for-all right now.
Free-for-all now.
But how about we're talking about pet peeves. We are talking about pet peeves. The dishes, says Ian. The dishes.
That's a big one.
Have
you ever had your parents threaten you to use paper plates, disposable plates, because you don't want to?
No, I haven't. I haven't.
But you've heard of that, though.
I've heard people say that, but we've never.
No, we've never had that.
We Are Dream Warriors says talking during a movie.
Ooh, that's annoying. That's
who
annoying.
does that? My father. He will talk the movie whether he knows the outcome or not. And sometimes when he's talking about the plot, he's not following the movie, so he's narrating it, but he's saying it wrong. That's the man that came from the. No, it's not. This is a totally different character. So yes. It does drive me nuts. It does. Talking during a movie, you hate that.
I just leave the room.
He just leaves the room.
I just leave the room.
Because especially if it's a good movie, like I'm a Star Wars freak. And I love watching this. Even if I've seen the Star Wars movie before, I like watching them in sequence. I'll watch with my brother or I'll watch with my son Tyler when he's in town. And we like to watch them in sequence. So you have to really understand the story to be able to follow it. So people who talk during the movie, no. I'll just pause the movie, let them finish, give them the side eye until they're finished talking. But oh yeah, that's a big one. That's a good one. Now Gary says, I believe I'm on topic. Unwritten rules is a part of this show topic, correct? You're on topic, correct. Gary. You are absolutely correct. Nobius says, how about when people call themselves blunt and honest, but in reality, they're just nasty human beings? That is true. That is true.
Blunt and honest.
That is true.
But they're just mean-spirited.
Yeah.
Just trying to jab you. Just trying to get to you.
And We Are Dream Warriors says, oh, I sit corrected, Gary. I sit corrected, not stand. Martin JATW says, happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday to you, Martin.
Hello, Martin. Nice to see you. Martin is our fellow Canadian most of the time, but he's a bit of a world traveler. But happy Sunday back to you too, Martin. Ian says, interrupting people in conversation. I'm working on this with my therapist as well. She is lovely.
That's awesome.
Something, Ian? I do it all the time. And I'm sure you guys have witnessed me doing it all the time.
Oh, she does that all the time to me, and I just let it go.
And you know what I think it is?
Like water off a duck's back.
I think about it all the time. Why do I do that? I think it's because my brain and my mouth don't work at the same speed. My brain works a lot faster. It's like I'm trying to get out my thoughts and before I forget them. And then, I don't know. Sometimes I just cut you off.
We all fall into that category.
But yeah, that's a big one too. I need to work on that too, Ian. You want to give me your therapist
Well, yeah,
number?
you need to see Ian's therapist.
We all need a little bit of therapy session. And
Absolutely.
I think when we have discussions like this on our Sunday live streams, it's a little bit of therapy session, don't you think?
I think it is.
Because one of my favorite things is to plan these Sunday lives. I try to think about different topics that are interesting that'll get the conversation flowing. And if you guys have any topics that you want me to, try to work into a live stream and build on it, just send me a message or put it in the comments and we will definitely do that. Now, Martin says, bless up to everybody. And what's cooking today, Nino? What do you got cooking today?
Well, Martin,
it smells amazing in here.
I made some curried goat.
Is it finished?
It is finished.
You want to plate it and you can show
I
it?
made some curried goat earlier. I've had this craving for curried goat for a few days because I can't seem to find a good restaurant that makes a good curried goat.
And it's so expensive
and
now. It's
very
ridiculous.
expensive. I was telling Lo earlier, I said, now I can understand why they charge so much in these takeout restaurants, because I mean, you should see what I paid $60 for. But in any event,
It's crazy.
I have the curried goat all cooked. It's just,
Do you want to go plate?
Do I have to?
You don't have to.
Okay.
Because I want some.
Because you want some. Well, you can't eat on camera.
Yes, I can. Ian says, oh, the word but is wretched. Please stop negating everything said with a but. Try and be inclusive. But.
I was gonna, but.
Listen, a lot of them, I keep saying this, I sound like an old fart, but these kids nowadays, the way they speak, it's not proper English. So a lot of it is like these different colloquialisms, you know what I mean? Or fitna. All my cousins in Texas, they say fitna. Oh, I'm fitting to go to the store. I'm fitting to go to the store. Like they say these words that they're not part of my vernacular. How about when people repeat the same stuff more than 3 times? Yeah, I heard that the first time. Nino always says that to me. You told me this story already, but sometimes I forget that I told him.
It's funny enough. I have a guy that I work with that did that to me the other day.
What?
He passed by my office and he asks for something, and I said, "Sure, I can take care of that for you." 5 minutes later, I'll come back. I'll be back in 5 minutes to do that. I said, "But you told me that. I get it." 5 minutes later, passed by. I'm just going down there. I'll be back again in 5 minutes. I was so annoyed. I just want to just crawl onto my desk. Like you told me this. You initially asked me. I agreed. I decided I was going to do that for you. We don't need to have 10 different discussions about the same thing.
You know what I just realized about pet peeves? When you're in your professional capacity, you gotta suck up them pet peeves. You really do. You gotta suck up
your tolerance level is
your tolerance level has to go out the window, because you have to be a customer service agent, and whatever the customer, the person, the client, the patient, whatever they're saying, no matter what, if it's irking your pet peeve, you just gotta smile and nod, right? You gotta smile and nod, especially if they're a patient.
That is it.
That is it. Ooh, we are Dream Warriors. You're coming with the big ones. He says, what about the sound of scraping silverware?
I think didn't we cover that earlier?
No, scraping silverware.
You mean on a plate?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, that irks my teeth.
Or that's when you start to, you're just trying to get the last bit of food. Right?
Yeah. And Martin says, nice, because you're cooking your curry goat. Ian says, I love the vibe and flow of your lives. It's so nice to hear what everyone else's thoughts are. Yes. And that's what I love about our community. Yeah. And I'm telling you, when we started doing our regular Sunday lives, we kept saying, oh my gosh, what are we going to talk about? But it's so easy.
Yeah.
Everything
Once you get into the flow of things,
And it's not easy being a small YouTuber to build your community, but let me tell you guys, we so appreciate having all of you here.
We appreciate
participating in the discussion every week. We see how our numbers are going up, and it's all because of you. And we're so excited. The real
VIPs, right?
The real VIPs. And we're so excited now to be building our membership.
Yes.
And now that the weather is finally warm, we can get outside
to join. and become a member.
Yeah.
This way you get all the exclusive stuff as they come out. You know about them first.
And we're gonna start doing some members only fun things. How much we have it at $2.99 a month, and you can just hit the join button when you go to our main page. You'll see the little join button there, and you can become part of the Nino and Lo crew.
There you go.
Right? And we thank you all that are here that have already joined the Nino and Lo crew. It's so exciting.
It is got a level of excitement.
It's so exciting because sometimes you put so much work into your YouTube and you think, is anybody really out there? Does anybody really care? Because let me tell you
And it's
guys.
nice to know you guys care.
Let me tell you, to prepare for our lives,
We
do a lot of work.
It takes a lot of work.
We do the artwork, and we're not professional in any capacity. We do the artwork, we consult each other about topics. Then once you find a topic, we try to expand on that topic. And now we start jotting down talking points, and we kind of do a bit of a script as to what we're going to say, because we have to fill an hour and a half on this talking
But we
point,
want to
right?
ask you guys, though, that if you have any kind of connection to Harpo or Own, just reach out to them. Tell them
Yes,
you need
because
their
we
technical
could do
skills.
with a copywriter, a production assistant, a whole production crew would be wonderful. That's what I
That would
want
be awesome.
for my next birthday.
But as you know, we are going to grow. The community is going to grow. The channel is going to grow.
It's already growing.
And we hope that you guys are always going to be with us
Yes.
through those growing years, and keep supporting us and watch us grow as we grow together.
Thank you. Yes. Now, Martin says, you are so right. Everybody learning English sideways. Yeah, tell you, you have, not only do you have English, right? So you have all these cultures coming together learning English, but then everybody takes their culture, mixes it with the English, and comes out with a whole
their own
different
little
language.
thing.
And then you have that Toronto slang, right? So Toronto slang is where these young people mix up a little bit of their own culture along with the Toronto traditional Canadian type of talk, right?
bit of a crossover.
You'll get, something like wallahi fam, wallahi, right? That's the East Africans, what they say, wallahi.
Wallahi.
Yeah, I think that's a greeting. I think wallahi.
Yeah.
And then they'll throw in the fam, like wagwan, or you'll say
Wagwan
wagwan
fam.
fam, right? The Jamaican mixed with the Canadian. And I don't care. My kids always bother me that I say A all the time, but so do they. They say A too. Maybe because I'm a little bit more corny with it.
You're very corny with it.
I'm a little bit more
You're
corny
A
with it.
kind of girl
They're a
all the
little
time.
bit more, they have it in the slang. So, but they say it too.
It's a lot smoother with them, and it's not as hokey pokey. You're a bit hokey pokey.
See, Martin says, or it's just speaking that street English. Wagwan. Everybody says wagwan.
Wagwan.
Whether it's almost become part of Canadian culture now to say wagwan. It's Jamaicans, you've lost it.
It is part of the Nino and Lo
Yeah.
intro.
Martin says you just have to be tolerant. That's true.
That's it.
And I find that we adapt a lot of these other cultures.
Well, you have to
speech,
adapt,
right?
because we all got to coexist together. So we just we find a way to make it work.
Yeah. Or you start to understand what those words mean. Now, Nobia says, okay, what about standing up at the exact moment the plane gets to the gate? Big peeve.
That's
the crowd rush.
Yeah. Where you rushing to?
Bothers me to the max.
Excuse me.
Especially if I'm lucky enough to be in first class at the front of the plane. So then you have the whole back of the plane rush. You can't even get out of your plane, and you're in like row 3. I don't know why some of these flight attendants allow that to happen, and most of them sometimes do control.
I had an experience the other day in a store where the lady was saying, "Excuse me," she's right behind me, and I turned to her and I said, "Ma'am, we're all going in the same direction. Like, where do you want to go?"
Or they're reaching over to get their overhead luggage. It's like, why are you opening that? What if the luggage falls out and hits somebody in the head? That is a good one, Nobius.
That's a good
Why,
one. Yeah.
Miss say
That's a good one.
I wasn't even thinking about that. Dreammore says, thank you for streaming. Ian says, there are certainly exceptions to the customer service smile and tolerate some bullshit that needs to be corrected. That's asking to be corrected. That's true. Black roses in my garden is here. Black
Wagwan
Roses
Black
says
Roses.
hi.
Hello there.
Wagwan Black Roses. Everybody big up Black Roses. I think this is their first time here. I've never seen Black Roses here before.
We welcome you to the chat.
Nobia says, I think we are coming to a close, Black Roses, but welcome in. We are coming to a close. We Are Dream Warriors says, that's true. The airplane behavior is
it's funny that if you don't let people by you as they're trying to rush to the door, as if the door is not even open yet, they get upset with you.
That's right. But where are you rushing
they
to?
Get upset with you.
We're
and
all
you
going to
can't
pile up in immigration.
Well, not only that, but allow the people in front of you to get out of their seat and move along. But for some reason, and you know where this happens a lot more often than not? In Jamaica.
When you land in Jamaica.
No, this is like a freaking stampede. Everyone wants to get off the plane. It's the funniest thing.
Now, Nobia says strangers who are calling you sweetie or honey. Ooh, that can be a huge peeve.
Ouch.
I'm guilty of that.
I don't think.
And I'll tell you when I do that. If I'm in a professional capacity at work and I have somebody like a patient or a family member of a patient that's a little irate or upset, and I have to explain something. No, I don't say it like sweetie or honey. I'll say it and then I'll like, okay, hon, are you okay? It's almost like I'm placating a little bit. It brings the temperature down, but it depends on the context and how you use it. Because if you can say it and sound like a real mean girl, okay, sweetie. Like if you say it like that, it sounds really, condescending. But if you say it, okay, hon, you throw that in when you explain something to them, then sometimes that kind of brings the temperature down.
Did I say hon your ass?
Sometimes, if it's a confused elderly patient, yeah, they'll tell you about your parts. Yeah. But Nobia says that can be a huge peeve. Yeah. Sounding condescending to somebody is never a good idea. Now, Ian says, Wagwan Black Roses. Come back next week. Yes. I hope you all come back next week.
I hope to see all you guys.
And Bluebird says, what about slurping your coffee or tea? And do you know in some societies,
it's acceptable
to slurp? It is acceptable to slurp.
As much as I know in the Chinese culture, when you're slurping your noodles,
yes,
it's
yes.
And they do that like it's.
I was thinking
sounds
about
very annoying.
In Japan. We hear a lot of slurping in Japan.
You know,
but it's a cultural thing.
I guess it is.
But for me personally,
I would prefer not to.
I don't like hearing the slurping. I don't like to hear those
slurping your tea, your soup.
I don't like hearing those big sounds when anybody's eating anything, right? But Gabe says, will you two hold hands and sing a song for us?
Kumba. You want to hear Kumba something, Gabe?
We ain't the singing type, Gabe.
We don't do that.
We Are Dream Warriors said, they say in the South, they say honey and sweetie is a nice way to diss you. Yeah.
Oh, in the South.
Yeah, because, they say it in that condescending type of tone.
Okay, sweetie.
Sweetie.
Okay, honey.
Yeah, I mean, if you say it a certain way, it's almost like you're not taking the time out to even know the person's name. It's just a sweetie.
Very dismissive.
All right. So we're coming to the end of the live, guys.
Yes, we're just winding down.
So I am so happy that you were all here to join us. And as usual, we had a fantastic time on our live. And thank you to all our regulars. And thank you to our newbies. And guys, don't forget, we have over 750 videos.
There's a whole lot to watch.
So I
scroll
encourage
back
you,
into the library.
Watch
Go back into the
if
library.
there's anything that interests you.
Great watch.
Yeah, because we are almost at 1 million views. Can you believe it?
So you guys got to keep the support coming. Keep it coming hard.
Yes.
Like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend for tell a friend for tell a friend. Tell even your in-law them what you don't like. Tell the who of them.
Oh, Brampton Gardner's here.
What's
She's
going
saying
on,
happy
Brampton
birthday.
Gardner?
Thank you, Brampton Gardner. It was a wonderful birthday. It's already gone, but I mean, I think you should celebrate for the month. Like, June is my month.
I think you should celebrate for the whole year until the next one.
Nah, I don't need to celebrate for a whole year. But Brampton.
Well, I'm not going to ask you to take a shot, but
Brampton says it's a beautiful weekend. I hope you finally got all your plants up in your garden. I still haven't gotten all mine out, but
Yeah, we try to
hopefully
get it out there at 4:30.
the next
every
couple
Sunday
days I'll
that
get the rest
garden.
of my plants out. Brampton Gardner is here in close to us. She's not in Toronto. She's just outside, but she has a beautiful garden there. Ian says, that was great. Congrats on your success. Have a great rest of the day, you all. Everyone's saying hi to Brampton. Oh, Brampton said, I'll take a shot for you. I actually have a short because I did take a shot, Brampton, and they forced me to take a shot.
She actually took
I
a
made
shot.
it into a short. So you and I can take a shot together. You can watch my short and we can shot together. I have 2 trays with a few seedlings left to find spots for. I still have a lot to find spots for. Oh, she said she just watched me taking a shot.
Okay.
All right, guys. Well, this is it for us.
We thank you guys for
Thank
coming
you all
out.
for coming.
Thank you for joining us on this Sunday afternoon. And
yes.
we hope to see
And
you
and
next
it's beautiful
Sunday.
weather here in Toronto. So if you're here in Toronto or thereabouts, go out and do something
enjoy the weather.
nice.
It's
Enjoy
great
the
weather.
rest of the day.
Mhm.
We are going to go out. Well, I'm going out into my garden because I have a lot of planting that I would like to do.
And you got to get done.
Yes. So I hope to see you all back here next Sunday at 4:30. Are you here? Are you off next Sunday?
Maybe not.
Brampton says, I'm in the garden enjoying my plants and Dexter's on my lap. Dexter's her little pug.
Dexter.
LP says, great live. Thanks for facilitating. Thank you, LP.
Thank you, LP.
And I hope your plants
We
are doing
appreciate-
well. And to all my friends, have a great rest of the Sunday. Bye-bye.
No, but we always say what?
What on the manures? I'm
out.
out. Bye, guys.